Welcome to Perfect English. Today's video is about Someday is Today by Matthew Dix. A powerful reminder that action matters more than intention. If you want to stop saying someday and start saying I'm doing it, this summary will help you take that first small and confident step, both in English and in life. Part 1 Overview. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "Someday I'll be fluent in English," or "Someday I'll feel confident speaking to native speakers"? We have all said it at some point. That little word, someday, feels harmless. It lets us dream without pressure. It comforts us with the idea that the future will give us more time, more energy, and more courage. Here is the truth. Someday never comes. Matthew Dix learned this through experience. Before he became a published novelist, he was a full-time teacher and a working storyteller who believed he was too busy to chase his dreams. Then he realized something powerful. If he waited for the perfect day, he would wait forever. So he stopped waiting. He built simple systems and small daily habits. He used tiny pockets of time. He turned his somedays into todays. His book, Someday is Today, is a friendly and practical guide that shows you exactly how to do the same. Inside are 22 simple and actionable strategies that help you stop dreaming and start doing. The goal is to move from thinking, "I want to saying, "I am doing it right now." In this video we will explore the heart of Dix's message by learning to work smarter instead of simply working harder. You will learn how to find hidden minutes in your day, how to begin even when motivation is missing, and how to keep moving toward what matters most. Along the way, you will see how these same ideas can gently guide your English practice. Whether your dream is to write a book, create meaningful work, or speak English with confidence, these ideas will give you a clear path. The truth is that you do not need more time. You need to start using the time you already have. If you're ready, let's begin our journey through Someday is Today and start turning intention into action, one small step at a time. Part 2. About the author. Matthew Dix is not just a writer. He is a teacher, a father, a public speaker, and a 5-time Moth Grand Slam champion. If you have not heard of the Moth, it is a world-renowned storytelling organization where people share true, personal stories live on stage. Winning once is rare. Winning 5 times means you have mastered the art of turning everyday life into something unforgettable. What makes Matthew special is not extra talent but a different relationship with time. While many people wait for the right moment to begin, he builds moments. He does not wait for inspiration to strike. He works in small, steady bursts that create it. He teaches during the day, raises children with his wife, and still finds time to write novels, essays, and stories that reach audiences around the world. When people ask how he does it, his answer is disarmingly simple. "I just do the work." He has trained himself to take action even when he does not feel like it, to move forward even when he is tired, and to create when others hesitate. His life is proof of his philosophy. Every page of Someday is Today reflects this mindset. It is not a book of tricks or quick hacks. It is a book about presence, attention, and courage. This is not a message shouted from the mountaintop of success. It is a quiet voice speaking from the middle of an ordinary, busy life, the kind of life many of us live every day. For anyone learning English or chasing any goal, this is encouraging. You do not need to wait for the perfect day, the perfect job, or the perfect skill level. Matthew Dix reminds us that progress begins not when life becomes easy, but when we decide that today is enough. Part 3. Time. Picture this. It's a regular weekday morning. Your alarm goes off earlier than you wanted. Before you even get out of bed, messages are waiting. You rush through breakfast, telling yourself, "I'll find time later." But the day fills itself. It always does. By evening, you're left wondering, where did all those hours go? Matthew Dix, the author of Someday is Today, starts with a truth that hits hard. Time isn't something you find, it's something you shape. The 100-year-old plan. Close your eyes and imagine the older you, looking back across a long life. What would that person thank you for starting today? When you choose from that longer horizon, frantic tasks shrink and meaningful work rises to the top. For English learners, pick one tiny habit you could keep for a year. 10 minutes of reading before bed. Or a 60-second speaking recording each morning. What seems small today becomes powerful when it is repeated. 86,400 seconds. After looking a century ahead, come back to the ground and focus on today. Every day arrives with the same allowance, 86,400 seconds. You cannot save unused seconds for tomorrow, so you either spend them with intention or watch them slip away. Decide in advance where a few of those seconds will go. 2 10-minute blocks can tilt your whole day. One on the commute for a short podcast, one before bed for a single page of reading. You do not need more time. You need a plan for the time you already have. Sleep correctly. Matthew treats sleep like training. You schedule it, you protect it, and you improve it with practice. Set a real bedtime and a real wake-up time and keep them most days. Treat the last hour of the evening as a runway, not as spare time to scroll. Lower the lights. Put the phone in another room. Cool the space. Skip late caffeine. Lay out tomorrow's notebook and pen so morning has no friction. Think of these as repetitions. Each night you repeat the same sequence so your body learns the pattern. If a night goes badly, you do not blame yourself, you adjust the method. Go to bed a little earlier. Shorten the screen time. Make the room quieter or darker. The goal is simple: arrive at morning with a mind that can focus and a mood that can begin. A good night is not a luxury. It is part of the work, the first disciplined step that makes every other step easier. The eagle and the mouse. With sleep treated like training, your mind is steady enough to steer. Now lift your eyes above the day and then return to the ground when it is time to act. Matthew calls this rhythm the eagle and the mouse. The eagle sees the whole landscape and chooses direction. The mouse walks the ground and takes the next small step. Give yourself a brief eagle moment each week to choose one clear focus, then spend your days like the mouse, calmly taking the next action. For English study, the eagle sets a weekly aim, perhaps learn 20 new words. While the mouse decides today's 5-minute task, perhaps use 2 of those words in a spoken sentence. Things that do not deserve your time. Before you can make room for what matters, notice what steals it. Take one quiet minute and write a short list titled "Things That Do Not Deserve My Time." Be honest. It might be late-night scrolling, drifting into comment threads, or saying yes out of habit to low-value requests. When one of these shows up, pause and choose a swap. Close the extra tabs. Mute the chat for 15 minutes. Reach for your notebook instead. If you are practicing English, read one paragraph or speak 2 sentences aloud. Small, deliberate swaps turn lost minutes into minutes that carry you forward. Be a criminal. Steal minutes from the cracks of your day, never from your integrity. Think of yourself as a gentle thief of time. Notice the small pauses life gives you in a waiting room, in a queue, while the kettle warms, or in the few minutes before a meeting begins. Train yourself to turn those moments into tiny, useful moves. Jot one idea. Review 3 flashcards. Or speak a single sentence aloud. These harmless thefts add up quickly and cost you nothing. Do not lose days to rotten people. Matthew warns about a quiet danger. Do not lose days to rotten people. Some voices drain your energy, and some conversations spiral into complaint and leave you stuck. Guard your best hours by choosing company that builds, learns, and tries, and spend less time on debates that change nothing. For your learning, treat your study window like an appointment and let calls that are not urgent go to voicemail. Surround yourself with a small circle that cheers effort and kindness, and offer the same in return. Over time, these choices keep your energy clear and your days intact. Time is the first arena because everything else depends on it. A long view gives your choices weight. A daily budget gives them shape. Rest gives them power. Changing altitude keeps you wise and practical. Naming the thieves makes space. Stealing stray minutes creates momentum. Guarding your energy keeps that momentum alive. Let these 7 ideas guide a single day and the hours stop slipping away. The work you care about begins to appear in small, certain steps. And without waiting for a perfect season, you find yourself moving forward today. Part 4. Taking the leap. There comes a point when planning is no longer the work. You have set your horizon, you have guarded your time, and you have stolen back small pockets of attention. Now you need to step forward. Matthew Dix calls this taking the leap. It sounds dramatic, yet in practice it often looks like a small, ordinary yes spoken at the right moment. Say yes. Imagine a friend invites you to join a short lunchtime speaking circle. 10 minutes of simple practice, once a week, 5 people, no pressure. Your first instinct is to say maybe later. The calendar looks crowded. The invitation is easy to ignore. This is the moment Matthew is talking about. Say yes to the chances that point in the direction you have already chosen. Saying yes does not mean accepting every request. It means recognizing the few that move you along the path you care about. The yes is a bridge between intention and action. It places your body in a room where progress is likely. It puts your voice into a conversation where practice happens. Many of Matthew's own stories began because he said yes to a small opportunity, then showed up, then did his best on that day. If you are learning English, a good yes might be a short presentation at work, a neighborhood club meeting, or a weekly online chat. A single yes can change the rhythm of a month. Be a chicken, not a pig. There is an old breakfast joke. In a plate of bacon and eggs, the chicken is involved and the pig is committed. Matthew flips the moral on purpose. He asks you to be a chicken, not a pig. That means stay involved in a way you can sustain. Do not sacrifice your well-being on the altar of a single goal. Some people sprint so hard that they fall apart after a week. Others choose a smaller, steady pace and keep going for years. Being a chicken looks like this. You write for 15 minutes before work and then go for a walk. You practice English for 10 minutes while the kettle boils and you still eat dinner with your family. You keep your promises to your work and to your health. The result is not a burst of progress followed by burnout. The result is a quiet line of effort that keeps growing. You choose the finish line. Unclear goals drain energy because they have no ending. Matthew's answer is simple. Choose your own finish line before you begin. Decide what done will look like, and decide how you will know when you arrive. The finish line might be a page count, a word count, a date, or a small public moment. Record a 1-minute English monologue every day for 30 days. Draft a 2-page story by Sunday night. Deliver a 3-minute talk at the next team meeting. When the finish line is visible, every step feels purposeful. You also gain the right to stop and celebrate when you cross it. Without a finish line, you never feel finished, and that slowly kills motivation. Make terrible things. This is one of Matthew's favorite ideas because it frees people who are stuck. Give yourself permission to make something terrible on purpose. Not because you want to publish bad work, but because you need a way past the fear of starting. A bad first paragraph is better than a perfect plan unwritten. A clumsy 5-minute recording is better than a week of silence. Once the messy version exists, you can improve it. Every artist you admire begins here. They cut, shift, and refine. They are not avoiding imperfection. They are working with it. If you are learning English, your first recording might be slow and uncertain. That is fine. Play it back. Notice one thing to improve. Make another recording tomorrow. The goal is not to impress. The goal is to create material you can refine. There is a lovely side effect. Making a terrible version quickly removes the pressure of perfection. You stop guarding your ideas like fragile glass. You learn to hold them like clay. Clay can be shaped. Glass can only be admired or broken. How did they do it? Envy is a dead end unless you turn it into a question. How did they do it? Not why are they so talented? Not why they can do it and I cannot. How did they actually do it? Pick one person you admire. A writer, a podcaster, a presenter, a teacher who seems to make ideas clear. Then study the path rather than the shine. Look for the unglamorous details. When did they work? What did their day look like? Which tools did they use? How long did their first draft take? Where did they practice? Who gave them feedback? Look for interviews, acknowledgements, old blog posts, behind-the-scenes notes. You will discover that most heroes use simple, repeatable systems. They batch tasks. They block time. They ask for help. They keep the drafts moving. Use what you learn to design a path that fits your life. If your hero wrote for 20 minutes before work, try that for 1 week. If they kept a daily story note, begin your own notebook tonight. If they stood in front of a small audience once a month, book a small slot somewhere safe. You do not need their gifts. You need their methods adapted to your reality. Part 5. Support. There is a limit to what any of us can do alone. We can plan. We can practice. We can grind through hard mornings. But there comes a moment when progress depends on the world around us. Matthew Dix calls this support. It is the circle of people, reminders, and rituals that carry you on the days when your willpower is thin. Find your people. Finding your people means building a small circle that helps you keep your promises. They do not need to be many. They need to be reliable. They show up when they say they will. They give honest feedback without cruelty. They celebrate effort as much as results. In a group like this, discipline becomes social. You arrive because others arrived. You finish because others finished. Start simple. Invite 2 or 3 people to meet at the same time each week for short, focused practice. Set a clear start and a clear end. Each person shares a small piece of work and receives one useful note. Then you all choose a tiny next step for the coming week. Keep the tone kind, practical, and steady. If you are learning English, your people might be a weekly conversation circle, a colleague who agrees to a 10-minute speaking break, or a friend who listens to your recording and replies with one helpful suggestion. Choose companions who make you brave and keep you honest. Offer the same in return. Over time, this small circle becomes a quiet engine that pulls you forward. Put your eyes on the prize. Put your eyes on the prize by making your goal visible so it can pull you forward. A goal you cannot see is a goal you forget. Choose one clear reminder in your daily line of sight. For example, a small card on your desk with this week's target and a box to tick each day. Set your phone wallpaper to the date of the next event you will join. Party often. Serious goals do not require a serious face all the time. Matthew encourages you to party often, because celebration is practical. It builds momentum. It teaches your brain that effort leads to something warm and human, which makes the next effort easier to begin. Keep a short wins log and add one clear line every time you follow through. Date it. Name the action. Keep the log where your hands can reach it. On low-energy days, open it and read 3 lines out loud. You are holding evidence, not opinions. The proof in your hands reminds your body that work leads to reward. That feeling is what keeps a habit alive. A party can be quiet and small. After 7 days of keeping your promise, take an evening walk and buy a favorite drink. When you finish a tiny project, send one message to someone who cares and share one thing you learned. If you practice with others, begin the session with a quick round where each person names one small win since last time. 1 sentence each is enough. The tone lifts, attention sharpens, and people are ready to work. Make celebration specific, immediate, and proportionate to the effort. The point is not luxury. The point is reinforcement. Celebration closes the loop so consistency feels good today and possible again tomorrow. Over time, these small, honest rewards turn perseverance from something you force into something you look forward to. Feed yourself a compliment sandwich. Progress needs honesty and kindness at the same time. Matthew suggests a simple way to keep that balance. Give yourself a compliment sandwich. Begin with one thing you did well and name it clearly. Then choose just one thing to improve. Finish with another genuine strength. Keep it quick. 2 minutes is enough. Write 3 short lines such as, strong opening image, slow down in the middle, clean, confident close. Do not attack yourself or list 10 faults that would take an hour to fix. Name one improvement, then get back to work. Tomorrow, choose a different small change. This keeps you moving and protects your confidence without hiding the truth. When you give feedback to others, use the same approach. People remember what they can act on, and they remember how you made them feel long after the words fade. Know your story. Tell your story. Support also comes from the way you see your own life. Matthew has a practice he loves. At the end of each day, he writes down one small moment worth remembering. A sentence or 2. Nothing dramatic is required. The sound of your child laughing. The way the sky looked while you waited for the bus. A line your colleague said that surprised you. Over time, these lines become a map of your days. Knowing your story changes how you show up. You begin to notice more. You understand which moments matter to you. You find patterns in your own courage. Then tell your story, out loud, to someone who will listen. Tell it to your small group or into a microphone at an open night or to your future self on a voice memo. Stories turn ordinary effort into meaning. Meaning is fuel. Part 6. Living the life. There comes a moment when the practices stop feeling special and start feeling like you. The calendar keeps ticking, the small rituals hold, and finish lines arrive one after another. What follows is not a dream of perfect mornings or endless energy. It is a steady way of living that lets creativity breathe inside ordinary days. Matthew Dix calls this living the life, and it is simply the habit of showing up today and then again tomorrow. Creativity cannot abide preciousness. Many people wait for the perfect conditions before they begin. A clear desk, a quiet house, the right notebook, the right mood. Matthew Dix cuts through that belief with a single line. Creativity cannot abide preciousness. If you treat the work like a delicate object that requires silence and ceremony, it will refuse to appear. Begin where you are and use what you have. Write 2 paragraphs at the kitchen table while dinner cools. Shape an idea on a walk and speak it into your phone. Revise for 5 minutes in the car before you go inside. None of this is fancy. All of it is real. Do not promise yourself you will start after you buy a new microphone or after life gets calmer. Start now for 10 minutes and let the act of working create the feeling you were waiting for. Preciousness is a velvet rope that keeps you outside your own work. When you drop the rope, the door opens. Make something into something. Ideas rarely arrive fully formed. They come as scraps. A line you liked from a novel. A joke you heard at breakfast. The way the street smelled after rain. Matthew Dix invites you to collect these pieces and then give them a shape. Make something into something. Keep a simple capture system. Use a small notes app, a voice memo, or a page at the back of your notebook. Write one line per scrap. Do not judge. Just gather. When energy is low, open the folder and choose 3 pieces. Set a short timer, for example 12 minutes. Let one scrap become the opening image, let another shift the tone in the middle, and let the third guide the rhythm of your closing line. When the timer ends, you will not have perfection. You will have a page. Tomorrow you can smooth the edges. This habit works anywhere. 5 scraps can become a paragraph. 3 paragraphs can become a page. A page a week becomes a short talk by the end of the month. You are not waiting for a perfect idea. You are assembling one. Do not be an asshole. The creative world is smaller than it looks, and people remember how you make them feel. Matthew is blunt about this. Do not be an asshole. It is a moral choice and also a smart long-term strategy. Be the person who is easy to work with. Arrive when you say you will. Reply when you promised, even if it's only a brief note. And keep your commitments, especially the small ones. Give credit out loud when someone helps, naming them so others hear it. When feedback comes, receive it with a thank you, choose one change to make, and move forward without a fight. And when it is your turn to give feedback, be specific and kind so the next step is clear. Kindness does not lower your standards. It means clarity without cruelty, directness without drama, and reliability without performance. Over time, this posture opens doors that talent alone cannot. People invite back the person who steadies the room, keeps things moving, and leaves the place a little better than they found it. Eat a lot. The title sounds playful, but the idea is serious. Eat a lot means feeding your mind widely and on purpose. Matthew treats input like a creative diet, because you cannot cook from an empty pantry. Rather than waiting for inspiration to arrive, you stock the shelves so inspiration has something to work with. Build a simple weekly menu you can repeat. Across the week, rotate through small, focused portions. On one day, read a short article that teaches you something new. On another, listen to a personal story that moves you. Midweek, watch a 5-minute talk and note one idea worth keeping. Later, read a single page from a novel to tune your ear to rhythm. Before the week ends, return to the piece that stayed with you and capture a phrase or structure you might borrow. Then keep one day open so everything you consumed has space to settle. None of this needs to be long. What matters is the steady mix of forms and voices and the attention you bring to them. Be thoughtful about quality. Endless scrolling can fill hours without feeding you, so choose sources you trust, voices that stretch you, and subjects that spark genuine curiosity. When variety is deliberate, it is not noise, it is nutrition. The effect is gradual and powerful. When you sit down to create, your mind begins to supply connections, echoes, and patterns drawn from what you have been reading and hearing, and the work flows more easily because the cupboard is full. Pessimists die knowing only that. The full line in the book reads, "Pessimists die knowing only that they were correct, optimists thrive." Matthew is not asking you to ignore reality. He is asking you to choose a stance that helps you keep moving. Pessimism says it will not work and stops there. Optimism says it might work, which is enough permission to try. In practice, this optimism is a method rather than a mood. When a day goes badly, you ask a simple question. What tiny piece can I move forward today? Add one sentence to a draft. Cut one line that does not belong. Schedule a new date after a cancellation. Send a brief thank you and a request for feedback. None of these actions is grand, yet each one keeps the work alive. This approach is not cheerfulness painted over trouble. It is a way of returning to action after a weak morning, or a disappointing week, without drama and without excuses. It keeps you curious about what might happen if you continue for another month. It turns maybe into movement. If you like a line to carry with you, write this on a card and keep it where you can see it. Progress is a decision repeated. Key takeaways. Someday is a habit. Today is a choice. That is the heart of this book. Treat time like treasure. Imagine your 100-year-old plan. Spend your 86,400 seconds with intention. Protect your sleep so your attention has strength. Move like an eagle when you plan and like a mouse when you act. Name the things that do not deserve your time. Steal minutes from the cracks of your day. Do not lose days to rotten people. When the moment arrives, say yes to the invitations that fit your direction. Be a chicken, not a pig. Choose a pace you can keep. Define your finish line before you begin. Make terrible things so you have something to improve. When envy appears, turn it into a question. How did they do it? Build support around you. Find your people and show up together. Keep your eyes on the prize with visible reminders. Party often so momentum stays warm. Feed yourself a compliment sandwich. Know your story and tell it. Bring life into ordinary places. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Turn scraps into pages. Be kind and reliable. Eat a lot of good input so your ideas have food. Choose useful optimism. Take one small action, then another. You do not need more time. You need the courage to use the time you already have. Begin where you are. Keep going. Let each today become a step on the path you once called someday. Closing. Someday is today isn't just a title. It's a challenge. A quiet whisper that says, stop waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect mood, the perfect time. Start with one simple move. One small action your future self will thank you for. You don't need all 22 ideas. You just need one that stays in your heart, and the courage to keep it alive tomorrow. That's how habits become change. That's how someday becomes real. If this message touched something in you, share it with someone who often says, maybe later. And if you want more ideas that help you grow your language and your life, subscribe and join me next time. Because in the end, the distance between someday and today is just one honest action. One line written. One choice kept. Do that, and your someday will quietly begin right now.